still go. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yeah, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They're deceived with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why they say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.
What is going on, crypto fam? Welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Nightcap. We're doing this every Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're bringing you some of the most important market news as well as technical analysis that you can use for tomorrow. And we got a lot to talk about today. The AI drama was going down today. I mean, everything was taking a hit. The markets lost about $700 billion, and that's actually the traditional stock markets. And then you saw a big hit for all of cryptocurrencies, but they have since recovered. They did come down to a very key level. We'll look at that when we get to the charts. But we got to talk about it. Like, where is this going? Is China outperforming America now when it comes to AI technology? I mean, man. That caused a stir, let me tell you. And it looks like FD's in the house now. So let's go ahead and bring him up. He got the shades on. All right, FD, let's go. Let's get him up. Oh, no. He's not up on that. He must have logged in with a...
Can you hear me?
I don't know. Yeah, I got you. I can hear you. But you're not on the... Hold up. Let me... think I know how to do this. That is not how you do it. Look, we got FD just taking over now.
There we go.
Oh, man. Here we go. Let's try this again. Let's try this again. Man, I forgot. It's been so long, actually, since I've had to do drag in. I thought I could just drag it in. That does not work. All right. See? This is why we need Piper. All right. Manzi again. We're going to get it, fam. I'm telling you. Gotta have faith. Do I have this locked? Unlock overlay. That could be an issue. That could be it. Let me see. Bada bing. Bada boom. Let's go. I just had it locked. All right, let me go through the slides real quick, make sure that I got you on all of them. My guess is I don't. Let me go ahead and relock that. And nope, don't have you on that one. So you're going to have to reshare all your stuff. Let's go to the single real quick. Working through it. Boom, got you in that one. We should be good on all of the slides. Now just share your screen with me if you don't mind. And then we will get this party started. While you do that, I'm going to go to the chat here. Let's go to Duo and then say what's up to everybody in the chat. Ooh, I hope everybody had a good weekend. I know you guys were getting a little shook today. Ain't no doubt about that. But let's say what's up to username. I see him in the chat. Trade into Wisho. Bingo, bango. What's up, dude? And of course, the ribs are flowing. You see that? You see the ribs are flowing right now. Jessica, look, what's up, my dude? Dave Violet in the house. Scrolling through. I know username talking that smack. He said, I don't even remember that one time that we started on time. It was one time. We started early and it was all by accident. All right, scrolling down here a little bit more. We got Alexandra G, the best mod in the house. What's up, lady? How are you? Hope you're dodging the fires just like me. All right. Scrolling a little bit more. Y'all just blowing the chat up. Let's go. Harp's in the house. All right. Username, Harp. Here it is, man. Here it is. The Commanders have been knocked out of the playoffs, unfortunately. We made it to the NFC Championship game, and unfortunately, the Eagles, they won. They whooped the heck out of us. There's nothing we could really say to even be like, oh, the rest were bad. I mean, there's a couple bad calls, but like, there's nothing you can do about doubling up our score. Y'all crushed us. Ain't no doubt about it. Y'all crushed us. Y'all deserve it. You did have the better roster. No doubt about it. I told Harp, I was like, I don't want to see you guys again. I did not. I was hoping for the Rams undercover just because they seem like the easier roster to play. So that is that. Congratulations. Enjoy the Super Bowl. You know, here's a Saquon, man. You know, I'd like to see him get a ring. Honestly, he's a good dude, and he's a hell of a running back. So there you go. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Because that took a lot of intestinal fortitude to actually say that. So, all right. Going down here, we got Wick's wife, Fine 89. She's our other lovely moderator. Thank you for being here tonight. We appreciate you. Al Jr., what is up, my dude? He said that's a fly shirt. You talking about? It's got to be my shirt. You talking about? This is a Solana shirt, bro. And it almost looks like it's like doing some translucent type stuff because there's some greens in there. That's kind of funny. Andrea's in here. What's up, you crazy people? What's up to you? And who else we got in here? Scrolling down. I'm sure we got some late arrivals. I'm sure we do. Commanders suck. That's just messed up on like 10 different levels, username. I'm about to pull that mod wrench real quick, boy. Oh, did somebody already pull it? Why don't you have a wrench? What happened? I don't know what happened. Mark Dutch, what's up, dude? How are you? Thanks for stopping by. We appreciate you. Wick 5, 8, and 9. What is up, my dude? All right. Oh, man, I almost skipped some people. I got K Diggity, no doubt, in here. You can't miss that. Can't miss that. All right. Now I think I'm good. I think I'm all caught up now. I do see FD's chart here. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and get that squared away real quick, and then we will get this party officially started. Go to, this would be FD's. Let me unlock the overlay and drag it in. Man, I'm learning. All right. Don't need that one today, and definitely don't need me. Just humongous. I don't know why it does that. All right, we got all FD stuff squared away, I think. Let's go ahead and get going. You know what we got to do first. It's going to be our Daily Degen, so let's go. And here we go. See, you know, I almost had it all figured out, but I forgot I got to drag them into this one. And now we are back in the fight. All right, lock the overlay. Let's go. All right. I just brought up, like, I was going through and I was just scrolling and I was like, what is it? What's something Degen? I found Puffer. I don't know nothing about Puffer. All right, but Puffer is a fish. I can tell you that. And I was like, that sounds pretty Degen. Let's do that today. All right, so let's go ahead and get over to the votes. And of course, you guys are long per the norm, 64 to 36%. There's no coming back from that. You only got 11 votes though, man. Viewership, y'all got it. Tweet this out, man. Give us a little love here if you guys can, and reshare. Do something along those lines. Gotta get some people in here. We gotta get some people in here. Let's get this going. Only 20. We're usually at like 60. You guys are y'all must be shook. Not you guys because you're watching, but the rest of retail must be shook. Y'all hiding right now. That's cool. All right.
Did you share it on X?
What's up? Yeah, no, it
On X?
automatically. Yeah, it automatically. As soon as I go live, it goes straight to my X now, and I tagged you and I tagged me. I got it in the title every time now, so it's like it's almost automated. But yeah, it should be up. If it didn't pop up, let me know. All right, so we're on Puffer. You guys are voted long. I see that. So let's just let's go ahead and do it. Let's get that going. Let's get it going. 50x. You know that's about to get crazy. Yeah, I know it's high leverage because my audience of degens are crazy. All right. 50x. All right. We going long. Let's do it. Boom. It's in there. All right. So if you guys don't know, if you're new around here, which it doesn't look like you are because we got 20 people in the chat, you guys know what's going down. What we do here is we give you, the audience, the opportunity to vote whether we go long or we go short on any, a degen type token typically. Sometimes we let you pick it in the chat, but for now, we're just rolling with the Puffer. Let's go ahead and get over to the news. All right, first up, we got President Trump announces a 25% emergency tariff on all Colombian goods and financial sanctions for rejecting deportation flights. My man is not playing, dude. Like, straight up. The one thing after another, he says he's going to do it, and he just does it. And, like, it's kind of crazy because, like, a lot of times when you think about it, they're like, oh, there's supposed to be all these checks and balances, but it looks like this dude is just going wild right now. Like, I mean, he is following through with what he says he's going to do. And whether you like him or not, because he is a divisive dude, it is a little refreshing. I'm going to be real with you on that. Somebody finally, like, just at least following through with the things that they say they're going to do. And in itself, for me, is a little refreshing. But that being said, it is going to get interesting. There is a huge debate right now, and it really has to come down to, it comes down to the IRS, taxes, or tariffs. And if you guys don't know, I highly suggest kind of going back in time, or at least doing a little bit of research and looking at how the United States used to operate back in the day, right? And the tariff system is how they used to operate. And we were actually very wealthy, and at some points actually had a surplus of money, and that was a system that we were operating under. So it's very interesting. It can create a lot of turmoil in the economy. I understand that. Basically switching systems. So, we're going from taxing the people to now, trying to get tariffs. And then, there's going to be some rebuttals or, countries that are going to push back, and they're going to be like, well, we're going to tariff you. And you're going to kind of get in that little, that war going back and forth of, who's who. And, basically, I'm going to call it a demeasuring contest. That's about the nicest way I can put it. But you're going to see a little of that. You're definitely going to see a little bit of that. And, that creates quite a debate. But here nor there, I will say that I'm kind of ready for a change, right? I don't know about you guys, but I'm not a big fan of getting taxed. Every time I look at that, I'm like, wow, man, that's like 40% of everything I earned is just gone on top of inflation. So not only is inflation through the roof, like taxes are pretty high, right? And the interesting part about it, and I was kind of watching some videos and some content on that, your taxes do not even actually go to running the government. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. That money actually is not even used to operate the government. And that, like, you think about it, you're like, dang, that's kind of crazy. So I don't know, man. I'm not a huge tax guy, and I will say I'm not the smartest individual when it comes down to, understanding all the economics and the economy and how everything is all tied in. that's a lot to understand. It's a lot to really digest. I will say that I would like to keep more of my money on a very personal, greedy, selfish level. But I do think that inherently, if we have more money, instead of turning on the money printer, you have more money in your pocket. That stimulates the economy because you have more free money. You have more money to spend. And we will spend it because we are naturally, as humans and our society, we are consumers. There is no argument about that. We are consumers. The people probably watching this show right now, I'd say half of you are probably still consumers, but half of you are a little bit fiscally more responsible, and that's why you're watching this content. And you're trying to do something else with your money. You're trying to make your money grow and, to make more money, right? That's kind of why we're doing this, right? That's the name of the game. But FD, man, I babbled. I went on a little bit. I'd like to hear your take, though.
It's a lot, man. It's definitely a lot. And I was thinking about this over the weekend, was yesterday or earlier yesterday when he slapped those 25% or threatened to do it. And it's like, okay, now you're. I thought the tariffs were for a lot of them were for bringing things back to America. I think bringing work back to America, things like that, making more things in America. It may just end up being just like the sanctions, like weaponizing with the sanctions and then backfiring. So it's just something that we got to let play out. I don't know if I don't know if they can keep doing this. He can keep. I mean, he can do what he wants. Obviously, he's coming in smacking people around figuratively, and he's making world leaders quit. Like, so we'll have to see. I don't think it's something that should be weaponized because they can also, start putting tariffs on us. But we are the big dogs, and we have we show force, show our hand, and a lot of people where was it again? Was it Venezuela?
Colombia?
Colombia, yeah, Colombia. It's, they quickly changed course. So I think Colombia could change course, but some of these other countries, I don't think they're going to do that. Some of these bigger countries, but we'll see, man. We'll see. It's still a couple weeks into into the reign, so I don't like the weaponization of it. I think it could backfire. It's a lot going on right now. It's definitely a lot going on. We'll tie everything in once we talk about what everybody's talking about a little bit later, because I can tie in this, with what's going on too. Over the weekend with the new AI. Then we got the interest rates. It all ties in together. It all ties in together, and then we can tie it into the charts as well. So we'll keep that on our mind, and we'll tie these next few stories in together as well.
Right on. All right, man. That's I don't even know if that was great news. I usually try to have some good news and a little bit of FUD, but today's one of those days, man. It's actually sometimes it's hard to find FUD articles, to be honest with you, but today was pretty damn easy. I'm gonna be real with you. It was pretty easy. So let's go ahead and transition over to that. We're gonna bring on our dude Elmer FUD. Sound the siren. And here we go. NVDA loses nearly 600 billion in market cap, marking the largest single day loss in U.S. history. I mean, NVIDIA was, I'm not going to say it was overextended or oversold or overbought, I guess would be the correct term. But it was kind of leaning that way, right? Like NVIDIA, I would say, yes, they had the AI going. Yes, they had the chips going. But there's still a little, I think there's a speculative asset to where this AI game is going. And this Chinese company came in. I think it was a deep, do you remember what it was called? It's deep something. DeepSeek? I think it's DeepSeek.
DeepSeek.
Yeah, so DeepSeek comes in and is like, let me show y'all how it's done. They took what ChatGPT was doing, and they were like, we're going to do it with less, and we're going to do it more efficiently, and it's going to be darn near free. And if you look at some of the things like that some of these Chinese companies do, not so much TikTok, but who's very much in bed with TikTok is CapCut. Now, there's a lot of content creators that I know that use CapCut exclusively to edit videos, especially long form, because it's free and it actually works very well. There you go. FD's one of them. So, at points, I used it as well. So that, that's kind of wild. And that put a real big hit on the market because they came to that realization. We're like, wow, like we thought we had a stranglehold on this as the US. And here comes China. It's like, nah, hold my beer. Hold my beer. And, that had a large effect on the rest of the market too. And 787 billion was wiped out of the US stock market. I mean, a lot of that was NVIDIA. But I mean, if you look at it, it was red. It was red all the way around. It was red in crypto. We've since bounced a little bit for crypto. I'll have to get over the charts and take a look at that. We did hit a really nice key level that was on the charts. But, like it's just wild the impact that one, you know, company or one piece of news has on the entire market. Now, I don't know that that was a singular market, but that was the narrative today. That was the big talk of the town, we'll say. I didn't hear too much else, coming out today that would really have put the market down the way it did. Minus that, we could just kind of be starting to trend in a different direction. Like, the NASDAQ was at all-time high. S&P 500 was at all-time high. Like, it's a natural thing for the market to kind of go in waves, up, down, and, just kind of ride the waves, lunar beaches waves. We kind of talk about that here and there. But I mean, dude, that was a big move. So what I'll ask you is, do you think this is going to continue to have an effect on the crypto market? Not too worried about the stock market. NVIDIA, like, yeah, that's definitely going to have an impact on NVIDIA. But, on the crypto market, like, why such a large impact on the crypto market? Or is it just because it's, a risk on asset and that's the correlation?
Well, the stock bros and the people from the stock market and all the big entities that's in crypto now, they just treat Bitcoin and crypto as a tech stock. So once tech stocks start, now we want it to be uncorrelated. We understand the difference in the value of Bitcoin and a lot of these cryptos, but honestly, this has been an institutional led cycle or institutional rally. The institutions are why we're at these elevated prices. So if they start selling, and because they're using it as a tech stock, then or looking at it just like a tech stock, then it's just going to sell off. It's not like retail. Retail probably would have, we're selling too, but I just think they're using Bitcoin or seeing Bitcoin the same way they're seeing Nvidia as just one big tech stock. And that's how they're playing it right now. But I think I had this conversation with myself. I talked to myself a lot earlier, and I was wondering, or I was thinking, like, will crypto ever be uncorrelated? Because this is one of the things the maxis talk about. This is one. I'm half maxi, half not. I can see the value in a lot of these different cryptos. I can see the value of using altcoins to get more Bitcoin, and I can also see the value of these cryptos within themselves. But what I'm thinking is, when or if the market will be uncorrelated or get uncorrelated. I don't think that will happen anytime soon, unless Wall Street sees, like, okay, the stock market is going down, Nvidia is overvalued. We don't need the chips like they think we did, so they don't have a stronghold or a gatekeeper. They can't gatekeep anymore. What's the next play? Can we just go to crypto or Bitcoin, since it is supposed to be uncorrelated? So that's what I'm trying to see what's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen too soon, but I mean, if the stock market keeps going down, I think crypto will go down. But we held pretty strong,
Yeah.
because I remember I was telling you, and I was telling everybody here, that Nvidia was kind of like my north star to the economy. I've been saying that. So as long as we hold above $100, we're fine. That's the line in the sand for me. It's $100 for Nvidia. We start breaking $100 for Nvidia, we have problems. We're gonna have problems everywhere. So keep on the lookout for that number for Nvidia. But I think it's just overvalued. Like, you just show that
Yeah.
chart, and we lost almost $1 trillion, and it was like five big stocks that was down. That's not healthy.
I've been saying it, like, I feel dumb because I said that NVIDIA was overvalued, I don't know, probably about a year ago. And in terms of price action, I was wrong. right? Like I won't say I was wrong, but I was wrong in a sense of I wouldn't have invested in it at that point because I felt as though it was overvalued. And, the price did continue to go up. So if you would have listened to me, you would have been a sucker. However, that being said, when you peel it back a little bit and you really do the research, there's a good argument that it is overvalued. There really truly is. And looking in the chat too, Retro Mike Tech, he's a smart dude and he's on board with that as well. He's like, NVIDIA has been severely overvalued for 5 years. Just look at the annual revenue compared to their valuation. Well, guess what, Mike? Guess what, everybody? One of my top investments of my life is back number 1. Let's go, Apple. Let's go. All right, they're back number 1, Microsoft number 2, and NVIDIA is now number 3. So that was a very quick turn of events. Happened all in one day. It's crazy. It's crazy to think about. We'll see if NVIDIA recovers. I do think that people will start jumping on it a little bit just because, the price has pulled back so much. Like there's going to be some probably aggressive buying now, seeing that, there's perception of cheaper prices, right? So
I will say this too. So I got two things. Number one, I don't even really need to look at the chart, but we are at a pivotal level for NVIDIA. So if we hold this level, we're probably going to see a nice reaction at this level, this 115 to 120 level. So maybe tomorrow we'll continue to sell off. Wednesday we'll go into a rally, or tomorrow we might rally. But if we lose that, we're going to $100. So get your puts ready if you're in the stock market. You do options. Number two, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if you don't mind, why don't you pull up the chart? You have it up?
Oh, I got it up. Yeah,
let's
I got
do
it
it.
up. So
Let's
we'll
look
talk
at it,
about
man.
this really quick.
Do it. I'll let you talk and have the chart up.
Okay, so it's just with the stocks, I don't really. It's these large, huge cap stocks, man. They, you don't have to do too much TA on them. You just do key levels. This is how all the big crypto or all the big stock YouTubers teach their communities how to trade options like that. Simple. It's like very simple. I should have been a stock influencer, but this is what happens. We need to hold this level here. You see all this price action here. This is October. This is all, going back into the beginning of last year. This is what happens if we lose this if we lose this number here. Let me go to this. Let me get my drawing tool. If we lose this here, this yellow thing or this purple bar here, we're probably just going to go straight down here. This is $100. So this is the level that we need to hold. And this is the most bearish case scenario. I think this is the most bearish case scenario. But I was also saying, TradeFly, that some news could come out because this is also people are talking about this. I think the guy from I can't remember which AI company he's from, but he's saying he's heard they have 50,000 NVIDIA chips that they're not supposed to have. So if it really comes out that they do have those NVIDIA chips, NVIDIA is going to go through the roof. So it's two different scenarios that we can be looking at. Right now, we don't know. We know that China has, seems like they've taken a little bit of a huge leap in this AI race, this huge AI race. So we have to just see, technically, if you're a trader, we want to hold this level. I think we may get some sort of reaction here, possibly go back here for a lower high, and then, possibly roll over. But for the most part, and then, just basically have some sort of downtrend like that. But for the most part, I'm trying to give it a few more days, or at least this week. But we do have the FOMC as well, what's coming in. But I want this to play out. I want this story to play out because they were saying that they might have NVIDIA chips and they might have been lying. So we just got to see, man. But it seems like, when I read up on it, it seems like they figured it out. They've cracked it the way they made the whole system, the way they made their LLM. So it's ingenious if they really did it like this, the way they made it. And NVIDIA was overvalued before this, and if that comes out that they really did it like that and they really made it for cheaper and faster, NVIDIA is severely overvalued, and I would expect it to come down.
Right on. Let's go ahead
People are
and
forgetting, the stock market is what really has been holding the economy. Like, you can say, we don't have jobs, we don't have this, but the wealth effect, like, people have inflation is going on. People might not have a lot of money, but they look at their 401ks, they look at their stocks was up, so they felt a little bit better. NVIDIA starts coming down, it's going to be trouble. That's why I said $100 is key for the economy. So we'll see. We got time. We got a few weeks to see how this plays out, but I'm thinking, man, this they severely overvalued. So we'll see if these two levels hold.
Yeah, right on. All right, over to the Daily Degen real quick. I did go ahead and exit that. Reason being, looking at it, it is in a very clear downtrend. And you can see it keeps touching this moving average. Every time it touches that moving average, it ends up going down. I went ahead and exited when it got up to that point. Just went ahead and saved the trade because it has already pulled back. So it's pulling back. I went ahead and took the positive. We did take a small win, 7.37%. Nothing too crazy to write home about, but you know, a winning trade is a winning trade. All right, so nothing to be upset about there. I know it is a DGen segment, but at the same time, we do try to teach a little bit of, you know, smart trading. But here and there, let's go ahead and get over to the economic calendar because we got a biggie coming up, right? So we got pretty much FOMC week. That is starting tomorrow. You got durable goods month over month. All right, that's on the 28th. And you got Fed interest rate decision, Fed press conference. That's on the 29th. GDP growth rate on the 30th. 4 PCE price index, personal income month over month, personal spending month over month. And that is going on the 31st. So big week this week. All right, so expect some volatility. What I would not like to see is some bad data come out in conjunction with the news. You know, when it rains, it pours sometimes, man. Could be, you know, hopefully it's not a precursor to things that come. That's all I'll say.
TradeFly,
What's up, man?
I got a question for you before we move
Send
on.
it.
Since we're talking about this FOMC,
Yeah.
do you think? I know last week we saw not Jerome Powell, Trump at Davos talking about cutting interest rates now. Remember, I told everybody I gave it 9 months before they started to bump heads and before he starts to try to get Powell out of there. I'm calling it. I'm bringing that forecast down. I'm saying 6 months now. So I'm saying 6 months now before he starts to really start to get that paint him as the bad guy. Maybe 3 to 4, but I'm gonna give it 6 just to give me a little bit of leeway for that prediction. So I'm thinking it's coming, man. I can already sense it. I can already sense it, man. Especially now with this, all this has so much correlation to do with each other. If this stock market starts going down, well, I made a video earlier. If the stock market starts to crash, the Fed is going to come in and they don't want the stock market to crash. That's their final, thing that they have to kind of prop the markets up. I mean, prop the sentiment up in the economy.
Yeah.
So, over time. But
One thing to
if
think
it
about
doesn't come
there
down,
on that note is that
okay,
they're invested in the stock market too, right? Like
yeah,
a lot of government officials are invested, right? That's we follow Pelosi, right? So when she starts selling off, I mean, it might be a little late, but it's probably going to be your hint of like, okay, it's time. It's probably time. Does she know? She's in the know. Sorry, man.
yeah.
Sorry to cut in,
Oh
but
no, no, no. So I was just
there's a
saying,
vested interest. I want to double down
yeah,
on what you said. There is a vested interest for them to keep that stock market up.
yeah. And like I said a little bit earlier, this was the wealth effect that the stock market brought. So if it does start to come down, I don't think it'll be like a bumping of heads. But if it stays elevated at these levels, around these levels, I think it's going to be something where Trump is going to start to paint Jerome Powell as the bad guy. And if he doesn't bend the knee, then he's going to find some executive way or executive order to try to get him out of there, and it's going to be a mess, man. I think the money printers are going to inevitably turn back on because it's just how our system works. We need more liquidity, more debt to drive the Ponzi, but short term, I think that's actually going to happen. So we'll see, man. It's interesting. We're living through interesting times, man. You can take advantage of it, or you can get wrecked in your life. So you
Yeah.
have to be in tune to what's going on.
That's why I like my traditional investments, man, like my 401k, my IRA, dude, I just keep DCA and I've watched it go up, I've watched it go down. You know, there was
Yeah,
2022 was ugly, but I just kept on in it and I stayed in aggressive growth. Actually, I switched some of them. I had a couple of them were a little bit more conservative. I was kind of diversified in terms of like half was aggressive, half was like a world fund. The world fund was doing horrendous and is still doing horrendous to this day. One of the best moves I've made in terms of traditional investing was getting out of that and actually switching it over to a different aggressive fund that incorporated a lot more tech stocks such as Google, uh, Apple, companies like that. That is done phenomenally well. And I'm just gonna keep DCA in it.
yeah, oh yeah,
I'm not gonna stop, man.
yeah.
Because
This,
I got time.
yeah. The stock market is designed to go up. Like even if it goes down, even if we have a crash, That's an opportunity. The stock market is designed to go up. If the stock market doesn't go up, the everything stops. No more jobs, businesses, money. Like the stock market makes the everything flow. So the stock market is designed to go up. That's why they have it at your jobs, just automatic payments going in. Like it's just a game that's designed to go up. So it's not going to crash forever if it does crash because it's part of the game. It's part of the system that they rig. And this is why we preach to learn the game. It's rigged, it's manipulated, it's not fair. But what are you going to do about it? You can either sit on the sidelines complaining or you can learn the game. Simple as that.
Yeah, man. All right, let me get a couple shout outs here, man. I see some people rolling in the chat now. You guys are a little behind time, but that's all right. I see Crypto Chef in the house. What's up, brother? How are you? Sergio and Hell, how you doing? Looks like, let's see what he has to say. Hopium, if the market crashes, maybe the Fed pivots and ends OT and the printer starts. Then we finally get alt season. I
Oh yeah,
mean,
that's exactly what would happen. But it would be pain at first. It would definitely be a lot of pain first.
yeah.
Sort of like 2020.
I mean, is you think that's really going to lead straight to an alt season?
No, it won't. It won't lead straight to an alt
Or is it
season,
we
but
going to get that
it'll seem,
traditional move? You think
it'll seem
Bitcoin,
alt season
some of the
because
large
it'll probably
caps,
be some
and
sort of
then
a
alts?
V-shaped recovery. So if everything crashes, Bitcoin, let's say Bitcoin just crashes to, let's just say 70,000. Alts are going to get decimated. A lot of them are already getting decimated. So if we did get something like a stock market crash and crypto coming down, and then the money printers get turned back on, markets are forward looking. So as soon as that happens, just like 2020, we have all the blueprint that we need. All just like 2020, we had a huge V-shaped recovery. So depending
Yeah.
on, a lot of people talk about altcoin season. It's been altcoin season for me because a lot of alts that I've been in since the bear market. So they're up high off the lows. A lot of people just coming
A
into
lot of people
crypto
in the
like,
wrong alts.
where's the or in the wrong alts? I'm in a couple wrong alts, but for the most part, I've been in these trades or in these positions since either 2020, 2021, or 2022. So when you say altcoin season, you have to like, when did you get in? When did when it's a lot to it, man, but it's very concentrated now. It's so many and diluted. We can keep talking about that forever, but
Yeah, I know. That's
just so many scenarios that could play out. You just have to be locked in. There's really no way to dictate what's going to happen. We do know it's going to all go up eventually at the end of the day. In between there, we don't know. We know what's going to happen at the end of the story. Just in the middle of the book, we don't know how it's going to play out.
right on. All right, a couple more shout outs. Crypto Crag, what's up to you? Bit New Window. He said new moon on the 31st. Y'all know. I mean, statistically speaking, the moon has this weird correlation to Bitcoin price. It's unreal. Golden Wolf, what's up to you? He said good evening from Seattle. How you doing, brother? And who else we got in here? Scrolling down a little bit more. I think I already shouted you out.
We got CVO, man. CVO in
CVO's
the
in here?
building as well.
What up,
I got a quick
CVO?
thing. The CVO is really, really technical. So
Yeah,
he
he
put out
is.
a chart, I think it was a couple weeks ago or maybe last week. It was like a shark pattern or something like that. And he was predicting a nice market correction. And then what did we get? Then we got all this news and stuff coming out. So sometimes the technicals can tell you what's going to happen before the news. Like he's
Yeah,
a big proponent of that. So I follow him. I have his every time he posts, it comes on my notifications. I got him. I got Forrest. I got a couple other people who I always look at. When
yeah.
they post something, I'm into them. So he's been talking about this down move for or way before it happened. So do the technicals lead the news or do the news? It's just one of them things. Another one of them things. But I definitely want to give him a shout out because he was talking about this before it happened.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's always nice to find some kind of confluence or, tie it in with like liquidity, right? I really like the liquidation heat map on swing trades if I'm looking for these big moves. One thing I would like to get better at is some of the technical charting that he actually does. With the corrections and going through some of that stuff too. So yeah, we'll get him on, man. Let's get him. Let's get him on. We've been talking about it. I swear we go back and forth on Twitter probably at least once a week. For whatever reason, we haven't been able to work it out, but we're going to. We'll get him back on here, and we'll have him charted up for you guys. I know you guys would enjoy that. But let's go ahead and start pushing into our market update. That way we can have at least a good 20 minutes for some TA. And here we go over to the total market cap. I switched here. Freaking CoinMarketCap was acting crazy. So just so you know, this is CoinGecko. So excuse me if I do not read it correctly because it's all over the place. Total market cap is currently sitting at 3.62 trillion. That's down 1.8%. 24-hour trading volume is currently at 246 billion. Bitcoin dominance at 55.8%. All right, here's some of your top gainers. You got Ultra, Alchemy Pay, and Dog in Me. There you go. So 61, pretty much 62%, 23% and 41% respectively. So there's some of your top gainers for the day. You see some of your trending coins as well. But let's get over to the crypto bubbles. We're going to push through this pretty quick here. This is for the day, so the last 24 hours. Pingu's down 20.8%. That's probably got hit the worst out of everything. XCN, that was moving in the positive direction quite a bit. That's down 13.7%. Jupe had a big move over the weekend, and now it is continuing that move, 10.2%. KCS, KuCoin is 9.2%. Hype is 7.4%. Everything else, not too crazy of a move. They're all hovering, you know, plus or minus 5, 8%. Some of them are 8%, but plus or minus 5% seems to be like the range, right? We'll call that the mean of your positive and your negative movers for the last 24 hours. So like we said, a lot of things have recovered pretty well after that big dip today. So let me know in the chat if you guys bought. Were you guys shook out? Did you get a little nervous today? You're like, hey, we're under 100. Are we staying under 100? Because I saw a lot of influencers charting those posts saying, hey, if we do this, we're going down to 73,000. We're going down to 60-some thousand. And here we are right above 100K again. You know, so is it just a temporary move? You know, a little flush out? You know, I think it's just a news-driven move, to be honest with you. But who knows? Let me know in the chat. I want to know. I want to know what you guys did today. Did you shake or did you buy? All right, over to the liquidation heat map on the 3-day. Let me go ahead and make this a little bit bigger here. You can see the liquidity was up to the top side, right? So you got that move down. All right, you saw shorts coming in. So there it is, right? People start talking about taking shorts or price continuing its way down. You had this resistance right here. As it rejected off of that, you see shorts coming in, right? These shorts came in before this move up. So it comes up, and the maker was like, yep, we're going to get the rest of that. Got a little rejection here, and then boom, back up, right? And it's cleared out that liquidity. So the hot spot is now gone, but you still, I would say the majority of the liquidity is actually to the top side of the price action right now. So keep that in mind as we continue to look at this. But yeah, again, most of the liquidity is to the top side. So there's some liquidity that's kind of building around 97.4, 97.5. But I do want to rehash one thing. Remember, we were talking about some liquidity around 99.5 or so. That was probably about a week ago. That is long since gone. But again, you know, it's something, you know, as FD was talking about, there's ways to get ahead of this, right? And zooming out a little bit on the liquidation heat map, looking at it on a monthly, a weekly, whatever the case may be, you can find some spots and then see if there's any kind of confluence on the charts that line up with what you're seeing there. So very, very important, I think, to tie it into your analysis. All right, so key areas I was talking about. I was like, all right, we hit a pretty key one. Point of control. Point of control for the entire range, all right? And that goes back to November 24 till now, right here, man. Look at this. Look at the way things lined up on the 8-hour. So the reason I had the 8-hour up right now is because I've been doing a lot of back testing on the air. I'm actually developing a strategy all tied into the 8-hour. So right now I am trying to zone in on the 8-hour quite a bit, just because the more you see things, the more you watch them develop, the easier it makes it for trying to get a handle on which way you think some of this price action is going, especially when I'm trying to work this strategy. So tying in, you can see the Prime Oscillator Pro. I cleaned that up a bunch. I got rid of a lot of things in the background here. I now only have 2 metrics on my Prime Oscillator Pro. It is the main OSC, which is the oscillator, and then I have the True 7. All right, so the True 7 is the one that combines a bunch of different indicators into one, and it kind of gives you an idea, you know, it helps with confluence with what you're seeing with the main oscillator there. So, but the strategy I'm working on right now, I'll give you a little preview. I'm not gonna mark up the whole chart, because when I do, it gets banana land. But what I'm very roughly looking at is a very simple strategy, and it's really about identifying the trend first, right? And where do you get that from? Well, you're getting it from the dynamic reactor. You're getting it from the quantum reactor, right? Those are showing you the trend. All right, I tried using the candles. Candles didn't work too well, because we do have some trend indicators on the candles. But the one thing that I like about normal candles is that you can start looking at whether it's a bullish engulfing. You can look at actual candlestick patterns, right? Or things of that nature on the chart. And you can't do that when you start putting on some of the trend, because they cover up the colors and all that. It gets a little weird. Anyways, so what am I looking at with this strategy? Let's find a pretty simple area right here. Right here. Let's go down right about there. All right, so here's a decent one. Right here, you got green, right? That shows me the trend is good. And then as soon as we get this change in color, you see how it's purple coming down? Yours will be red, but mine's purple because I wanted to see a little bit more of the change. When it switches to red, first wick afterwards is entry. Very simple. All right, you take that entry and then you ride it up until the main oscillator switches colors again. It's such a simple strategy. It's too simple, but you got to have the prime oscillator pro, I believe. So measuring it up, let's go. Got to take that next wick here. Boom. All right, and then you got to go to candle close. All right, so that'd be a 9.54% move. Do the math. All right, add 5x leverage if you're comfortable with it. That's a big trade. That's a really big trade. Now it's just a momentum based strategy, right? So we're just taking advantage of the price direction moving, in a positive direction. It's a long strategy too, just so you know. But I am working it on the 8-hour, and I've had some really, really good results so far. I got to do a lot more back testing. I got to do it in some more chop. I got to do it in some downtrends just to make sure it doesn't bite off too many times on, bad trades, right? Because right now I took it from November. I think I just did from November till time now. Right now is what I've tested so far. But I do need to go back to like 2022, downtrend, 2023, uptrend, and then do the testing that way. Give you a small sneak peek here. I think Piper told me to call it the flight path, if I remember correctly. Nope, that is the parallel. No, I can't remember what he said. Aviation logbook or something crazy. Who knows? Here's the back test. There it is. All right, so I didn't. This is actually, you know what? I done my back testing on ADA. All right, before I go into the too far into the TA, let me go ahead and bring this up real quick. Did I hide these ones? Let me see. Horizontal back test. There you go. All right, here's your little sneak peek. Little sneak peek on that range right there. With this strategy, I was able to get a 1,079% return. That's a $1,000 initial investment, full reinvest into each trade, 5x leverage. I gave myself as basically stop loss essentially was 5%. All right, so at any point, if the trade were to go negative 5%, it would automatically close out. And so these are the results. Looks pretty good so far. Still got a long way to go. If you would have took the price from bottom, would be 178%. If you would have taken it with a strategy and no reinvestment, that would have been 117%. So why do I like it? It really keeps your exposure, like you stay exposed to the market quite a bit, but at the same time, it keeps you from getting hit with the volatility too hard, right? Because 8 hours is a long time in crypto, but when some of these moves start, some of the trends start, they can be prolonged and you want to get out, right? So that is the reason I'm kind of working this, and we're gonna fine tune this some more. Actually, I think I see a lot of Alex O little otters here in the chat. So yeah, man, we're gonna get him a call. I'm gonna talk it through with him a little bit too, kind of beat it up, man. One of the things that we do in the Marine Corps, or did in the Marine Corps, I'm in the Air National Guard now, but what we did, we called it a murder board. All right, so you take things like that, you put it on a board and you tear it apart. All right, you try to pick all the holes in it. You try to find out where's the weakness. And then, by the time you get done with your rehearsal and you get into it, it ends up being, a quality product. So that's what we're going to be working here for you guys, Piper Academy, because I think in state, it'd be really nice that, you guys can have something that is set and forget. The the end state is that it's automatic. You'll just say, I want to give this initial capital and let this thing run. And so I'm actually developing an app as well in the background to help with that process. But that has there's definitely some things to think about with that. So, but yeah, man, I just want to show that to you guys, a little sneak peek. But here we go. All right, looking at Bitcoin again on the 8-hour, you can see we did form a symmetrical triangle. You actually see the two trend lines as well. So there was a nice squeeze going on. Funny thing is, I was about to put a tweet out on X. I was like, you know what? I was like, we're getting a squeeze. I thought price is about to move. I think price is going to move. And I was looking at cash flow. That was negative. I was looking at the RSI trending down. And I was like, if I saw this look more like a flag, then I would be like, okay, there might be an opportunity here for it to break out to the upside here. But, you know, looking at the symmetrical triangle, I just had this gut feeling that there was going to be a downside move. So again, we broke down, we did find some key levels here, point of control for the range, made a lot of sense. And again, on the 8-hour, if you look at this, I don't usually look at the 8-hour, but because today I was doing so much with that strategy, you can see right here, look at this, man, the quantum reactor, the dynamic reactor, it all lined up, and the trend line. I mean, good Lord, it all lined up. So like there was a lot of support in that area. Plus we had that liquidity sitting at 99.5. So we got the liquidity. And then once we cleared out liquidity, we had a key level of support. You know, nice little opportunity there. If you were ahead of it, that would have been a nice one. And then where do we hit our heads at? The value area high. Like, look at this. We've hit our heads on the value area high 3 times. So now we just got to wait to see if we break that. And that's what I'd say wait for. Like right now, you don't want to take a long position being right at the value area high. You would like to see the retest. All right, to keep it conservative, you like to get over the value area high, see the retest, and then look for that continuation up and right, giving this opportunity to reset, which it looks like it's trying to do right now. So you want to see the oscillator reverse its trend, start working its way up, and you are seeing that on the lower time frames. Just to give you, you know, a little bit of insight there. 4-hour, I believe, is already working its way up and right. I think it actually had a nice little, yeah, there you go. So it's 45 degrees up and right. So I mean, it's looking, you know, the way you want it to look to, or look like, we'll say. So it's a matter of waiting, just waiting for it to break this area before we see that move, or the ability for it to continue to move up and right, and, you know, just basically reestablish the range above. So I think this was kind of a news-based move. I don't know how much of it, you know, was TA or psychology. I think, you know, news came out, markets were dumping, and crypto just dumped along with it. And then the opportunity was there, though. Opportunity was finding that area that we could find support on. And again, there was a lot of confluence right here, right at about 98.6. So if it does continue to go down, let's say we continue to get bad news for whatever reason. So hope is not lost, I promise you. All right, you got this channel, you got the value area low, and that's coming in around 92-ish. All right, if you guys know, I do have a limit order. It's currently, I think I moved it up a little bit. It's at 92.5 right now. Price comes down there for whatever reason, I'm buying Bitcoin. Don't even care. Don't care. Don't care about the TA at that point. I'm buying. All right, because I see a very clear range. And if it continues to go down, cool. I'll wait for the next range. I'll wait for the next range, and I'll just DCA in that way. And if it goes up, good. I'm cool with that. So again, I got a limit order that is sitting at 92.5. Proof is in the pudding. Just so you guys know, I'm not BSing you. Here you go. Let me scroll up a little bit so you can actually see it. 92.5. There you go. It's a 5K order there, and I think it's actually $1,000 because I got 5x leverage on it. And then I got ADA as well, and that was at 82 cents. Wasn't too far off from the ADA one. That came down to about 88 cents. We can look at ADA in a little bit as well. I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to FD, though. Again, we're at the top side of, you know, the range, the previous range at least, and we're at the value area high. So, I mean, right now, it's kind of wait to see how we interact with that. Are we going to get a rejection, start working our way back down? Do we revisit the point of control, which is at 98.5, or are we looking at coming down all the way to the bottom part of the range? Wouldn't be a big deal if we did, not in my mind, to be honest. It's when we close underneath of this. And when I say close underneath of this, I mean a weekly close underneath. If we get a weekly close underneath of this channel, the game has changed. Till then, no biggie. All right, take advantage of the range. We've been doing it the whole time. You guys have been watching this channel along with us for months now at this point, and we've made plays off of it. We personally have here at the Piper Academy. Hopefully, you guys have taken advantage of it too. So, all right, FD, over to you.
Yeah, so quickly, I just want to go over my Bitcoin chart as well. It's really like the same as you said, but I just came at it from a slightly different perspective. But really, in simplistic terms, on my end, I'm just looking at a range. Top of the range, 106. Bottom of the range, 91, 92. Right now, we're hovering around the midpoint of the range, which is coming in at about 99.5 to 100K. So what I was looking at a little bit earlier to potentially open a short, which I didn't want to do. I haven't shorted all bull run, but what I was looking at, first, you see, we came down, and I didn't want to, but if we would have hit this level, this red area here, or this red line here, and started to use this as resistance and close the daily below this, then I would have probably started to, get my short on, like I like to say, and then just aim for this. I mean, if you zoom out, we've just been up, down, up, a little past the midpoint, down, range highs. Now it looks like we were trying to go back to the range low. So it's not over. It's not over. We definitely want to see what's going to happen over the next few days, especially with tomorrow. And then we have the FOMC. Let's actually zoom in a little bit so I can see short term what I'm looking at. So let me delete this. We did lose my favorite moving average, my 20-day modified moving average. Got back above it, lost it again. We got back above it. Now it seems like we are trying to recover that 20-day modified moving average significantly. And if you look at this, let's actually go to the hourly. We can get a little bit more information. If you look here, so I pulled this top side green line. This has been acting as macro support and resistance level, way back when. So we had all this here. We had it here. Let's get our drawing tool out. So we have something here. We have all this here. We have it here. We have it here. So this is coming in at that 103 area that we've been talking about. So this is the line that we want to get back over. Right now we're sitting at 101,700. Does look like, let's zoom in, does look like we are trying to form somewhat of an ascending triangle. Let's delete this so you guys can see it. Make this bigger. So we do have the higher lows, and then we have the top side resistance here. So possibly this is a trade setup. This is a possible trade setup that we can take to the top of the top of the range, depending on what happens over these next few days. So you can either try to get a bounce here if we come back down here, which is coming in right around 100K, which is that psychological level and a technical level. But we'll be still creating higher lows on the small or the short time frames. Or if we don't come back down here, we'll just be waiting to reclaim this area here, and then we can look for some nice candles and take it back to range high. So that's two things that I'm looking at. And if we lose this, then we're probably just going back to, back to our range lows at about 92. So that's just really just simple and period. But that's what I'll be doing. If we lose this, we'll probably come back down here. If we lose that, then I'm targeting range lows. If we come down to this top side or the bottom side of this ascending triangle, bounce here, we can get in here. It's usually on the third touch, 1, 2. So we do come down. I've come to see that we usually bounce off a third touch of ascending triangles. Then we can try to break out here. So even if we did that, you can TP1 here, flip that, and then you have another TP. You can TP right here. That'll be coming in at about 104 and some change, and then the final TP will be those range highs. So that's just three things that I was looking at for Bitcoin really quick. Ethereum really fast. Let's go to the 4 hour. I've been working from the 4 hour and down these past few days. We're still in this symmetrical triangle. Like we've had these deviations down here. We have this deviation. Let me pull this over here. So these have been deviations from the outside of the bottom side of this symmetrical triangle. We've quickly recovered. So right now we are testing the bottom side at about 3,100. So we do want to hold this. And I've had this drawn out, my plan of action if Ethereum started to get bullish in February, which is usually a bullish month for Ethereum. So we had it here. We want to break out of this. We wanted to break out here. That didn't happen. So we still have, a path to break out of this symmetrical triangle, getting up to about 3,500 to 3,550. I got 3,529 here, flipping that into support, coming back up here to this $3,800 level, which we have a lot of price action in these areas right here. And then ultimately taking out or getting back to these highs and going up to our, the new not all-time highs, but new cycle highs at about 4,800, which would be a 618 fib extension. So I'm looking at these, and it's just a if this happens, then I do this. It's an if-then market for me right now. So that's all I'm doing. Not really trying to overtrade. A lot of these are short swing trades, not day trading right now. If I want to do that, the last few weeks, if I wanted to day trade, I will go to Alex O's channel and I will look to steal some of his setups because he's on it. We definitely have to give Alex O his credit. Everybody's giving him his credit, but I'm personally giving him his credit as well, because if I want to start day trading, or if I have an inkling to day trade that day, I'm going straight to Alex O's channel at 8 a.m. And then he has all the major setups in the short term. But right now I am looking at longer term swing trades to get in, or just break out of these huge patterns and see what happens. But like I said, we have to wait and see what the market does. I think if we can get past this week, not too much unscathed rather, I think we'll be okay. But we just have to get past this week, and I think February should be okay. But we'll see, man. This AI thing is really serious, so we'll see what happens with that.
Right on, man. All right, I got ADA. We'll take a quick look at that here. Big area I'm looking at, and I showed you guys where I had a limit order in. Let me just kind of add some reasoning why I had an order there. But this is the 0.5 fib for the range. All right, so I don't have the whole fib up right now just because it takes up way too much space. It makes it look really cluttered. So the 0.5 at about 82 cents, and you can see an area of both support and resistance here on the chart. Honestly, kind of looking at this again, I would say I'd probably slide this up just a little bit, because if this does wick down or come down for whatever reason, I'd probably want to be a little bit above that area, as well as I want to kind of align more with where I see resistance and where I see support. All right, so I'd probably look a little bit closer, I'd say probably to about 84 or 85 cents. I mean, and you can see how close it really did come down. So it may have already made its move down, to be honest with you. Because I'm looking at the oscillator now. Oscillator, it's definitely resetting 45 degrees up and right. It actually might even be more than 45 degrees up and right. So it's aggressively reversing, right? So what I'm looking at now is if price action continues to go up. All right, price action continues to go up. We got a lot lining up right now. This is on the 4-hour chart. You got the bottom part of this trend, all right, and you can see this trend is very clear. You can see it's respected this trend all the way up. And if you guys don't remember, like I was looking at it, the past 3 times we've been in a channel, whether it's ascending or descending, from a technical perspective, it has honored them. All right, so it has broke the direction that statistically speaking it should break. So in this channel, remember I said this is a bearish channel, right? The channel's going up and right, working its way. Price actions kind of continue to go up. It actually statistically should break down to the downside, and you can see right here. So it really started retesting this area of support quite a bit. Got a little squeeze, dynamic reactor, quantum reactor, psychological area of $1. It made that final test for $1, broke down, and then it came down aggressive with that news. So where do we find some support? This was a horizontal that I had just kind of laid out, and the horizontal was not really based off of liquidity. It wasn't based off any fibs. It was just me looking at the chart. And I was like, hey, where do we find, some good bounces, good areas of support here, loosely here. But then you could actually see it wrestle with this area as well, right? Almost building a lot of volume in there. You can see where it acted as both support and resistance at times. Came back down, retested this area before it actually started making a move up, right? So you got almost like a double bottom. And my guess is, just looking at here, you probably had, you had some bullish divergence as well before it actually made its move up and right. So as we look at this again, this is kind of my area of concern, is that the resistance right now, at least on the 4-hour time frame, is all to the top side, right? That's kind of your big area of confluence right now. You got a trend line, You got a horizontal, you got a psychological, reactor, dynamic, and quantum, right? All sitting at about $1. All right, so if we make that move up from about 93 cents, I see that as an area that you can expect some price action. All right, so not here to say that's where it's going for sure. I would lean towards probably. I would say my bias would be like, yeah, it's probably going to get back up to that area and retest that area. I think it has to, right? So, and I say that in a shorter sense, right? I'm not saying like the clock's right twice a day kind of thing. Oh yeah, a week later I told you so. I think in the near term it's going to come up and retest that area. What do you have as support? Well, right now the clear area is about 90 cents, right? 90 cents, maybe we'll say is down as far as 87 cents. Got a little bit of a range there, but I would look for that to hold up. So if that does hold up, there's a couple things that you can look for here. All right, so if it does hold up, and let's give you some little lines, get you some lines here. That is a trend line. That ain't gonna help you guys much. Let's just do a brush. That's all right. I wanted to actually do something else, but if you see this, it comes back down and retests this area, and then you're looking for a bounce, right? I would look for some kind of bullish candle structure. All right. Look for something like a bullish engulfing, something along those lines. But what you're looking for as well when it comes down to retest that area is the oscillator. All right. So you've already seen it had opportunity to flip. But if this continues up, then comes down and then goes up, right there, you're starting to see that trend up. All right. You're seeing a trend up on the oscillator. And then you're seeing a retest of a key area of support, right? That's very, prominent. So that's something that I would look for as a potential opportunity of taking a long position. If that breaks down, there's a couple things you can do. One, you could have a stop loss underneath this wick because this could have just been clearing out liquidity, reestablishing the range. That's definitely something that was potentially in play there, especially with that bullish candle coming off of that area of support, right? So you could look at that. You could lather in, right? I think 82 cents is, or maybe a little bit more, maybe 83, somewhere in that range is going to be a nice little area. So you could lather in, or you just take your stop loss right underneath that wick. So that's a couple opportunities there. Again, I am looking for about 82 cents myself in terms of where I have a limit order. That's not me really predicting of where it's going to go. It's just if we get, some more negative news, let's say some bad data comes out this week and you get that wick down, I'm going to jump on it, right? I'm going to take that opportunity. And if you don't set those things up ahead of time, then you'll never catch them. Right? A lot of times, by the time you see it, you're like, oh man, I had this level identified, and then by the time you get around to it, you're like, oh, I already missed it. So that's why it's important to kind of get ahead of it. But at the same time, be smart about it. Don't just, do willy-nilly things and throw out 82 cents, make sure you're protecting yourself as well. So again, that's a couple key areas. I think, the dollars are the line in the sand for me. And I'll say the same thing that I was saying previous week is, and with Bitcoin as well, right? If we break this area, then just look for that retest. You see that time and time again where it breaks an area, retests, and then continues on. So just look for a retest, and then you'll look for it to go up. And then you're talking about 107. What's 107 or $1.07? That's a point of control for the whole range. All right, so that range goes back to about, there you go, November 21st. All right, so since November 21st, point of control, there's $1.07. And you can see I don't have to draw a line for you to be able to see where there's support and resistance as well. So looking at it on the chart here, you can see very clearly both it acted as support and resistance. So I do think that's an important level. Then $1.13 is just where you start seeing some of those, rejections, some of the wicks and things of that nature. So, that's kind of like you're like, all right, everything is just going great area. But $1.07, I think you're gonna see price action. $1, you'll see price action. And that's where you kind of look for those scalping intraday type trades setups. And then you can start shifting to smaller time frames at that point. If you want to go scalping, then you start getting down 15 minutes below. I know a lot of people use a minute, 5 minutes, time frames around there. I do like, it's kind of weird, but during scalping, I like going kind of like a top-down analysis, right? I like starting, with the weekly, then going to the daily, and then kind of progressively working my way down 4 hour, and identifying a trend, right? That's one of the things I like to look for with scalping is like, okay, which way is the trend going? And I say just identifying the trend right there will probably win you about 5 to 10% more just by simply identifying the trend. All right. Because you don't really want to fight the trend. Can you catch the wicks when you start getting a significant area of support and resistance? Yeah, absolutely. You can. You can do that. But I would say start with identifying the trend and don't fight that trend. You know, keep it easy, especially if you guys are just getting into scalping and intraday type trading. It's risky. You're adding an element statistically against you by fighting the trend. You know, so something to think about there. And look for those liquidity sweeps. You know, look for it to go up, take out some of the liquidity and reestablish a range. Those wicks, those big wicks sometimes, one showing you selling pressure or buying pressure because there's a very extended wick. You know, is something for you to keep an eye on. And then, you know, I'm a big fan of looking at some kind of bullish candlestick on the backside of that, right? I like to see those wicks, clear out some of that liquidity, reestablish a range, and then have a bullish candle. Once that bullish candle closes, then I am more apt to take a long position. So I think we're about good, man. I see the kiddo there. What's up,
He has like
man?
an internal 9
He
p.m.
knows.
clock. He knows to
He
come
knows.
down. Yeah.
Right on. Hey, a couple shout outs here. Crypto Billy, say what's up, man. How you doing? Hope all is well. Hope you had a good weekend. And of course, tune in to Billy Goat Tales tomorrow. You know, as always, we always send those people over there. So, all right. I think we're about to wrap it up. Let me see. Oh, we got a question in here. CJ Nis. He says, "Is quantum reactor the same as bull market support band?" I don't know if it is the same. I haven't actually compared the two of them. The quantum reactor is a chart prime specific reactor. It's basically it's an algorithmic way of taking a lot of the moving averages and things of that nature and basically putting it on a chart, right? So it's pretty good, but really I don't use the quantum reactor as much as I use the dynamic reactor. Let me bring my chart up for you real quick so you can see it here. So the quantum reactor is this one, right? You can see it kind of bouncing back and forth here. The dynamic reactor is, I believe, let me double check that. Let me just turn one on and
What is
off.
it? What's because I think the bull market support band is based off of a couple moving averages. So whatever what I don't know what the quantum reactor is based off of.
Let me see here. Is the bull market support band? That's not a chart prime thing, is it? Or is it?
No, that's just a regular indicator. I think it's have different variations, but I think it's a free tool on
Yeah.
TradeView.
I'll have to get the deets on there. Dynamic reactor has a description underneath of it. I don't know. Quantum reactor may be proprietary. They may not have much of the information there. So, but yeah, again, that it's more of a trend thing for me. So really, what it comes down to is trend analysis, and there's a lot of different indicators out there that you can pretty much pull. I'd say roughly the same type of information from. I'll say, you know, in terms of the strategy that I'm setting up, like, you know, I don't know how you would go about doing that without Chart Prime because I'm pulling in True 7 as well as the oscillator, and both of those are proprietary. So you wouldn't be able to have the same data at the same time. You would be able to use other indicators, like you'd be able to use, you know, an RSI or maybe even the prime oscillator. That because there is a free version. We do have an oscillator that's RSI based with Chart Prime, and then if you can find something that's similar, you may be able to. But what you'll have to do is backtest. That's just going to be it. And I'll tell you, I spent about 8 hours today. I spent about, I don't know, 6 hours last night. Didn't get a lot of sleep last night because I was backtesting. So that's what you're going to have to do to kind of develop those strategies. So putting in some time for you people, putting in some time for you. Hope you guys enjoy the fruits of my labor once I'm all done here. But that being said, we're going to go ahead and start wrapping this one up. But FD, you got anything for the people on the way out?
Nope, just gonna be an eventful week. We said this week. Well, it's been an eventful couple weeks, so we just gotta wait a little bit longer before we all get rich again. So we'll see, man. We'll see.
Yeah, gonna be wild, man. All right, bro. You have a good one. Everybody in the chat, we love you long time. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. Trade safe, be safe, and we're out. Welcome to the Nightcap, your TA home. Everybody knows we trade in them zones. Late night, no sleep, yeah, we keep it real. Crypto moves fast, no time for the feels. TradeFly rockin' charts, he about to take flight. Crypto Nightcap, where the dark meets the bright. This path ain't cheap, you can dream while you sleep. Steady building wealth, invest in yourself. Breaking it down, good vibes in sight. The makers in tight, adjusting my sight. It's all or nothing, this is how we attack. Get your head right, it's a Crypto Nightcap.